Okay. Well, we're entering the final lessons.
Today is another opportunity to wake up.
Our final lessons will be left as free of words as possible. We use them but at the beginning of our practicing, and only to remind us that we seek to go beyond them. Let us turn to Him who leads the way and makes our footsteps sure. To Him we leave these lessons, as to Him we give our lives henceforth. For we would not return again to the belief in sin that made the world seem ugly and unsafe, attacking and destroying, dangerous in all its ways, and treacherous beyond the hope of trust and the escape from pain. His is the only way to find the peace that God has given us. It is His way that everyone must travel in the end, because it is this ending God Himself appointed. In the dream of time, it seems to be far off, and yet, in truth, it is already here, already serving us as gracious guidance in the way to go. Let us together follow in the way that truth points out to us, and let us be the leaders of our many brothers who are seeking for the way, but find it not. And to this purpose, let us dedicate our minds, directing all our thoughts to serve the function of salvation. Unto us the aim is given to forgive the world. It is the goal that God has given us. It is His ending to the dream we seek, and not our own. For all that we forgive, we will not fail to recognize as part of God Himself. And thus His memory is given back, completely and complete. It is our function to remember Him on earth, as it is given us to be His own completion in reality. So let us not forget our goal is shared, for it is that remembrance which contains the memory of God and points the way to Him and to the heaven of His peace. And shall we not forgive our brother who can offer this to us? He is the way, the truth, and life that shows the way to us. In Him resides salvation, offered us through our forgiveness, given unto Him. We will not end this year without the gift our Father promised to His Holy Son. We are forgiven now, and we are saved from all the wrath we thought belonged to God and found it was a dream. We are restored to sanity, in which we understand that anger is insane, attack is mad, and vengeance merely foolish fantasy. We have been saved from wrath because we learned we were mistaken. Nothing more than that. And is a father angry at his son because he failed to understand the truth? We come in honesty to God and say we did not understand, and ask Him to help us learn His lessons through the voice of His own teacher. Would He hurt His son? Or would He rush to answer him and say, "This is my son, and all I have is his"? Be certain He will answer thus, for these are His own words to you. And more than that can no one ever have, for in these words is all there is, and all that there will be throughout all time and in eternity. It's amazing.
Yeah. I feel Jesus saying, "Hear, you who have ears." He said so in the Bible, you who have ears. Can you hear this? Beautiful, loving help, truth. The final lessons begin, and it's the same lesson for several days. And this is an invitation to practice. See, I make all things new. That this is all that we need. It's not really repetition to come back to the present moment. The ego just likes variety because it is so scared of presence. Lessons 361 to 365. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. And if I need a word to help me, he will give it to me. If I need a thought, that will he also give. And if I need but stillness and a tranquil, open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of him. Don't even need to come up with it myself. He is in charge by my request. And he will hear and answer me, because he speaks for God, my Father, and his Holy Son. See, all it takes is willingness to ask, and not to ask for something else. Isn't that beautiful? It is our function to remember Him, to remember God on earth. It is our function to remember Him on earth as it is given us to be His reality. In reality, we are one with God. On earth, it's our function to remember Him. So let us not forget our goal is shared. For it is that remembrance which contains the memory of God. The remembrance that we share the same purpose. The only problem here is the ego's own purpose, which is not shared. And that's the whole point about it. It's that it is not shared. Private goal or separation. But our true goal is shared. We truly share the same goal of peace. And this is our calling to not forget. We don't have separate interests. That's our calling to remember. We do not have separate interests. And the function of the miracle worker, or when you have realized that your interest is not different than your brother's, then you can call yourself a miracle worker. Talks about this in the Manual for Teachers. But let us not forget our goal is shared, for it is that remembrance which contains the memory of God and points the way to Him and to the heaven of His peace. This remembrance points the way to true peace of mind, to heaven, to home. And shall we not forgive our brother who can offer this to us? It's the only way. He talks about it over and over and over and over and over again in the course. Forgive your brother who is one with you. Forgive your brother. Forgive your sister. That's your gateway, the healing of your perception of the other, the seeming other. He is the way, the truth, and life that shows us the way. In Him resides salvation, offered us through our forgiveness given unto Him. He talks about our brother. He talks about the other person. He says you don't perceive him as he truly is. And through our forgiveness, we will see our brother as he truly is, our sister as she truly is. It's the same one. Of course, just uses the word brother, but it has nothing to do with gender. It's the being of Christ we're talking about. We will not end this year without the gift our Father promised to His Holy Son. We are forgiven now, and we're saved from all the wrath we thought belonged to God and found it was a dream. We are restored to sanity, in which we understand that anger is insane, attack is mad, and vengeance merely foolish fantasy. We have been saved from wrath because we learned we were mistaken. Nothing more than that. And it is a father, and is a father angry at his son because he failed to understand the truth?
No.
No. We come in honesty to God and say we did not understand, and ask him to help us to learn his lessons through the voice of his own teacher. We ask him to help us to learn his lessons through his own teacher, through the voice of his own teacher. Would he hurt his son? Or would he rush to answer him and say, "This is my son, and all I have is his"? Yeah, that's what God would do. Why is there such a weird belief that God would hurt us, that God is dangerous? Why does the mind hide in this world? Be certain he will answer thus, for these are his own words to you. To you. To me, too. And more than that can no one ever have, for in these words is all there is, and all that there will be throughout all time and in eternity. This is my son, and all I have is his. Can't even grasp that intellectually. So I think it's an experience. Open the heart to. And he says, the way to practice this is this holy instant would I give to you. This present moment, I would not be in charge. I would let go of control and offer this moment to God. Be you in charge, or I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. Direction is even available when we become present. Guidance is available. It's beautiful. After a whole year of practicing each lesson every day, we're ready for this now. To become so present. Like he said, the lessons are just the beginning for this deeper experience, this relationship. The Holy Spirit. If I need a word to help me, he will give it to me. If I need a thought, that will he also give. If I need but stillness and a tranquil, open mind, these are the gifts I will receive of him. He is in charge by my request. That's how powerful our minds are. He is in charge by my request. I need only to request it. Lay aside little plans and other ideas. And he will hear and answer me because he speaks for God, my Father, and his Holy Son. Can become these humble listeners for the voice of God. And then there to follow. It's safe. It's safer than following the world. It's safer than following time, ideas of time, ideas of form, ideas coming from minds that have not yet started this journey of awakening. These are not minds to listen to. Jesus says, ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars. Those with little wings have not yet learned how to soar as an eagle. Can't remember the last part, but that's the content of it. Yeah. We cannot rely on the no to God, the no to awakening, which is what we would do if we listen to the world's ideas. The world has tons of ideas to give us, but they're not true ideas. We don't need them. It's very safe to refine our minds and follow the true guide. The body won't get hurt by it. It will get healed by it. But our goal is healing the mind, which is far more valuable. And he even says the body will follow. The body will be a healthy servant. The mind that chooses the highest guidance. Actually, let me see if I can find that part. Well, I can read a few pieces about the body. The body can bring you neither peace nor turmoil, neither joy nor pain. It is a means and not an end. It has no purpose of itself, but only what is given to it. The body has no purpose in itself, but only what is given to it. The body will seem to be whatever is the means for reaching the goal that you assign to it. The body will seem to be whatever is the means for reaching the goal that you assign to it. It's quite a clear and direct message. This is from the second obstacle to peace, chapter 19, part 4b, paragraph 10. Let us be glad that you will see what you believe, and that it has been given you to change what you believe. Nice. It has been given you to change what you believe. Change the belief in death, suffering, pain, and separation. The body will but follow. It can never lead you where you would not be. It does not guard your sleep, nor interfere with your awakening. Release your body from imprisonment, and you will see no one as prisoner to what you have escaped. That was from chapter 131, part 3. The self-accused is that chapter called. We can continue a bit more. In lesson 135, if I defend myself, I'm attacked. He says, defend the body and you have attacked your mind. We have seen in it the faults, the weaknesses, the limits, and the lacks from which you think the body must be saved. You will not see the mind as separate from bodily conditions. And you will impose upon the body all the pain that comes from the conception of the mind as limited and fragile, and apart from other minds and separate from its source. These are the thoughts in need of healing, and the body will respond with health when they have been corrected and replaced with truth. This is the body's only real defense, yet is this where you look for its defense? You offer it protection of a kind from which it gains no benefit at all, but merely adds to your distress of mind. You do not heal, but merely take away the hope of healing, for you fail to see where hope must lie, if it be meaningful. This is so helpful. From lesson 135. And then, of course, we have the lesson 199, I am not the body, I am free. He says there, it's essential for your progress in this course that you accept today's idea and hold it very dear. Hold dear the idea that I'm not a body, you're not a body. Be not concerned that to the ego, this idea is quite insane. The ego holds the body dear because it dwells in it and lives united with the home that it has made. It is a part of the illusion that has sheltered it from being found illusory itself. Interesting. The body is part of the illusion that has sheltered the ego from being found illusory. Here does it hide, and here it can be seen as what it is. Declare your innocence and you're free. Declare your innocence and you are free. The body disappears because you have no need of it except the need the Holy Spirit sees. For this, the body will appear as useful form for what the mind must do. It thus becomes a vehicle which helps forgiveness be extended to the all-inclusive goal that it must reach according to God's plan. Beautiful. The body will be just seen as a vehicle for healing, to complete God's plan, and not the goal in itself. Because that would be to keep it as the ego's hiding place, which doesn't serve us, just confuses us. He says to practice this idea every day. Cherish today's idea and practice it today and every day. The idea, I'm not a body. Our identity is outside the body. Who you are is outside. He's saying the body is outside of you. That's a more accurate way of saying it. Body is something outside. But there is nothing outside of truth. So it must be just an illusion. And the last one I can say is from the workbook. What is the body? The body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear, where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it? But we can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. We can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. This takes some active practice to change the idea that we think the body is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. Wow, that's quite an opposite purpose. Now the body serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. It's pretty good to read the course, I must say. There are parts of the course where he talks about the desire to kill your brother. That's the purpose of this world and bodies. But this change of purpose of the body makes the whole difference. And this takes an active mind training practice, willingness to change the mind. And when can the mind change? Only now. Not later, not in the future. And this is really cool. And we don't have to let ourselves get lost on the timeline anymore. It would be good to commit to that. The lesson, I will not hurt myself again today, should be to get lost on the timeline. Thanks so much for joining me in this journey of healing, of awakening, of changing the whole purpose, changing the ego's purpose, forgetting the ego's purpose. Remember the real purpose. Will come a time when that's all there is in your mind, when there is no need to be vigilant or anything goes. Awareness is just, there is no opposite. But until then, vigilance is important. Mind training is important. Offering the willingness is important. Not for somebody else, but for yourself. It's for our own peace of mind. And when we follow the ego and listen to the world's ideas, the jokes on ourselves, the jokes on me, when we can say, when, there's nobody out there that will benefit from it, nor will we benefit from it, from abiding by roles or rules of the world. We'll just feel split and torn. That's why it's so important to trust and follow the inner voice. And it's not really even scary. And we can test it out and find the results. Keep testing it out until we feel certain and confident. We don't have to test it out, we just go for it. Didn't plan on giving a speech like this, but it feels good. Do we have any sharings today?
Hannah?
Yes. Thank you. I just feel the presence, spirit presence, strongly today. So, thank you.
Oh, we can rejoice together in that.
Yes.
Good. Beautiful. Yeah. Anybody else? Francois?
Yeah, I just want to share just a little insight 2 weeks ago. As you probably know, there's a lot of poverty in South Africa. And then there was, and And it's this is exactly what you were saying today about bodies. And there was this old woman that was begging for food, and obviously I didn't have any money on me, and immediately guilt, and then I start weeping as I was walking away, because I don't want to see anybody hungry. And then I said, God, this anger towards God, and then immediately this voice, as clear as day, said, you're not seeing anyone. It was, and that's a lesson that stays with everything, with everyone. When somebody is acting angry or fearful, or I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing them. Yeah.
I have a message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more guilt, seeing poverty and all these images. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to, you reminded me when you was, yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Yeah, the release of the belief in suffering. That's what it is about. Yeah, so I don't, was the Christian, I think, next. Yeah. And then Solveig.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, I felt, yes, very, very touched by the words you say, by these quotes, and I felt really this, as if the whole thing of the ego is constructed in one point. It's like the body, I'm the body, I'm separate. And the fear to, everything is connected with this.
Yeah.
Family, other people, relationships, everything is on one point. And to let that go, it's not possible, because I know that, because that point doesn't want to let itself go. But it's such a fear, big fear, because the whole world is breaking down, and I can rely on nothing anymore that I felt sometimes it's worth.
Well, the whole point is that it's an illusion. It's not even safe to rely on it,
No.
And it's very appropriate description, it's the center. The body is the center of all of this. It has the whole huge story of all the family, the people, the situation, the location, timeline.
The
body's the central figure in all of that. But he said, change but the focus. That's the message, change but the focus.
Yes. Yeah.
The perspective. Your vast mind, your identity is not this point.
Yes.
Then you can dare to follow what presence calls you to do.
Yeah. And that's sometimes it's strong, coming through strongly, and then sometimes it's really forgotten. It's yes. And I felt really this course, also this attack thought, the body is, or the sickness is attack. It's an attack. Yes, it is an attack.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's an attempted attack or a pretended attack, because it can't really attack truly.
No.
There is even in the sickness is a defense against the truth. I think there is a line saying, my mind cannot attack, so my body cannot be sick.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, but to really let that through.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the point.
Yeah.
But everything you said, I felt always again and again. It's this one construction point, and the massive fear to let that go, because the whole world, as I feel it, as an ego, is breaking down.
Yeah. I have another quote for you.
There's really fear coming up in this point. And I try to grasp something that is left. I want to take with this. I want to keep.
You see it, Christian.
Yeah. Yes.
Even,
and it's so overwhelming. Sometimes it's so, this show is so real.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. It's, I think every one of us knows that. Or otherwise we wouldn't try to realize our true nature. Yeah.
Right. You know, he says, if you defend the body, you have attacked your mind.
Yeah.
That's a pretty strong statement.
Yes. And even if I think even if you see it logically, it's in the timeline, in the horizontal timeline, it's a matter of time when you have to leave this thing.
Yeah.
So it's nothing but give me a little more time.
Yeah.
To keep.
But you can't win. You see that. You can't
never can win. No. No chance. That's so overwhelmingly true sometimes. I feel that. And I felt sometimes I had such, I tried to realize I'm dying and I can't breathe anymore. And I feel really, in this moment, I can do nothing. Nothing. It will take this idea away. And you can struggle. It's only a time thing.
Yeah. It is only a time. But even your name, Christian, it reminds me of Christ. You can,
yeah.
Your name can be your mantra every moment, to remind you that this other thing is not true.
Yes. If I come in this state of reaching out, and I feel good.
Yeah, because you're remembering purpose. You're
I feel good.
holding on to purpose.
Yes. And this keeping away always to living a kind of masking this doesn't feel good because it's not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is what happened to me.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, in 2006, I realized, what is the point in putting it in the future? I can say I can take more time, but the body, the body can't win. The personal identity cannot survive anyway. So I realized, why not now? Or I realized there is only now. I needed to release the mother role,
Yeah.
having a 10-year-old child,
Heavy. Yeah.
you know? Yeah. And I was like, I can't put that in the future. I had to do it now. I realized that there is no other time.
Mm.
God does not wait, you know? I mean, God can seem to wait if we wait, but that does not serve us. That does not serve our healing or our mind. That seem to extend the suffering. That's all.
Yes.
There is no loss. And that's what we will learn on the other side of taking
Mm.
this step.
Yeah. Yes, and that's so helpful to be in contact with seemingly bodies radiating this trust and this, relying on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah. Yes, it's so clear. Sometimes it's so.
The thing is, you're ready
Yeah.
too. You're actually ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know even. Yes, I think so. That this thing happening now is what else should come. Then there's, but what I said, or what I felt is really strongly this fear of losing the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Yeah, and this is what I was going to read to you.
Yeah.
What is the single requisite for the shift in perception? It is simply this: the recognition that sickness is of the mind and has nothing to do with the body. What does this recognition cost? It costs the whole world that you see, for the world will never again appear to rule the mind. You can contemplate on this.
Yeah.
For with this recognition is responsibility placed where it belongs, not with the world, but on him who looks on the world and sees it as it is not. He looks on what he chooses to see, no more, no less.
Yeah.
So that I see like a snowball, you know, this cancer sickness and this the doctor's plans, the doctor's own way of trying to heal and help, which doesn't give or take, but it's a snowball that becomes a snowman when you roll it. It becomes bigger seemingly, but so it is this point of time where the calling is when you're ready to say yes to the calling and turn your back to however big the snowball has become. It doesn't really matter. Like you have signed up for this program of this test medication, this study, yeah. But even that, I feel often we are called to turn our back to something, you know. In your case, it's this arrangement. It doesn't really matter what it is or how big it is, or what, you know, how disturbing it would be to say no to it. It doesn't really matter what it is, because it's still an illusion of that, you know, and this is the call to sacrifice this thing, you know. For me, it was the mother role of a 10-year-old. For others, it can be their parents, or often kids or pets. And this is not for everyone, but for you who have the calling, usually something you feel you're sacrificing.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you see that you didn't sacrifice anything, or you didn't lose anything, or you didn't even risk anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so, if you say, if we talk about that and you tell that it's strongly shining, there is something shining. If you said you have to leave that, but there's something waiting, you don't have to fear.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you say that this is a kind of light coming behind me,
yeah,
it's kind of can tell it, but as if it is saying, yes, listen to that.
Beautiful, you can hear it.
Yeah, sometimes it's strong.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I think I have quit it before and go and, but that's, I know that's no option. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christian.
All of you, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. And the words come to say, so what do you have to do now?
Yeah.
So I just leave that.
Yeah.
These words here. Yeah. And just to share with everyone, I read from The Shift in Perception from the Manual for Teachers, Part 5, Chapter 5, Part 2, Paragraph 3. The shift in perception.
5, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll share this on YouTube so you can go back and get the references if you like. But I think you got it in your heart, and that's all that's needed. Feel Jesus today. Yeah. You need to go, Vanessa. Love you, Vanessa.
It was delightful. Thank you so much.
Delightful.
Go back to Christian first, and then Dirk had his hand up.
Oh, I didn't see Dirk. Oh, yeah,
Can I say
Christian.
only short.
Yeah.
I felt as Sova shared it, and it's also my, yes, what I'm concerned with. And if I think to obey what the people around you are saying or feeling about you, it's the same for me also. But it's, then I feel, okay, they can't go with you. It's only a small time. And what I felt is eternity, so to say, is calling you. And you don't have to change it for time, for a short span.
Exactly.
And listen to that.
Yes.
And you have to leave it.
Yeah.
It's only, that's so impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
It's only a placebo. Placebo mother, placebo father.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in this dream, it feels so real. It feels so real.
It's like, what is it called you see in the desert when you have this?
Mirage.
Yeah, mirage.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Babies, children, parents, grandchildren, doctors,
Yeah.
you know, whatever the form of it is, it's a mirage. They are
Yeah.
not truly there. And how could they guide you?
Yes. And what do we have to give if we become real? What then we can give them? Then we are helpful.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
That's
don't
what
want to.
we have read about that today. You become the way shower, you know, but only for the ones who are ready for it. And usually it's actually not the family.
No.
Occasionally it happens, a family member is ready to join you, but usually these are more reflections of the past. Like you can read, there is a chapter in the course called Shadow Figures from the Past.
Ah, okay. Mhm.
That's those figures. There are beliefs in the mind coming from the past, reflected as if they are real. But yeah,
It's like a smoke screen, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very strong message today coming through about taking this seriously. You know, it's not a joke. It's not a hobby. It's not a side thing. It's to take it's because the core is true. It's in core of your being. Yeah.
Yes,
It's time.
you.
It's about time. We have studied enough. Like he says, we read the other day, you have been long delayed. There is much to do and we have been long delayed. So let's start. Let's start the real work. Let's take our step here. Let's not just talk about it anymore. We talked enough. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can go to Dirk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, a beautiful lesson session. Thank you. And what came up as a fear was or is this idea to share freely and from my heart on the social media, on, for example, Facebook or other tools. And yeah, you spoke about my next step, or maybe a step to feel free to share what's going on or what's helpful for others. It's time to help others. And I feel a fear, a huge fear that blocks me. Even a part of me knows that I like it. A part of me likes it to be connected via social media tools, platforms. Then now we have this theme here ongoing. It's interesting, because it was always a fear to be exposed or to say what's going on, or to show or to show what I believe, or what I am working on, or what I am doing, or what I am believing, or what I am thinking.
Yeah.
yeah, to show my thoughts, and so that I fear to be exposed, I fear to be rejected somehow. It's a huge fear, and that I cannot control. What is the result, or that it's seen by people, by my co-workers, by my family, but no, it's all of the huge world or can see what I am doing.
Yeah.
I'm not conformed anymore.
And this is part of not protecting the self-concept. The little self, the little me has been this hero of the dream, this central figure. But when you remove yourself from that as the central figure, when you become vast mind, Christ mind, and pray, I want to be truly helpful, you know, you will need to say the message that comes through. But first, yeah, it is to come out of the closet, so to speak. And those with the ears to hear will hear. Those that are not ready to hear, they will not, you know, they will not take it in. I had a moment many years ago when I realized what the story of the prodigal son meant. Because the story of the prodigal son was with me since childhood with Christianity. And, you know, there was the story of this boy squandering his inheritance, coming back and being welcomed. It was a nice story, you know. But then there was a point, because the Course talks about that story, and I realized what it truly meant. It means the whole sonship was lost and coming back as the Son of God, and there was no sin, there was no reason for guilt. God's open arms were there all along, you know, and there was nothing to be ashamed of. And I had this huge experience of that. So I wrote to my mother and explained the meaning of the story of the prodigal son, because she was the one teaching me, you know, the Christian story and the way of seeing it in a religious way. And so I felt this huge insight, and I described it to her with such joy. And she didn't get it. She didn't respond with same joy, or it was like nothing there. It didn't matter, you know, but for me it mattered, because I had the insight and I described it, and it was so powerful. And so the ones who are not on this path of awakening, they don't hear it. It doesn't matter. And maybe you want to unfriend some people that aren't, you know, really there mentally and emotionally with you. You know, you can pray about that too. And but yeah, it is very helpful to come out of the closet with your faith, with what you're about, because the secret thing is only keep it secret for part of yourself, for the mind, and there is nobody else really. So
yeah, thank you. I noticed the term shame again in the story Prodigal Son. It's about this huge shame to come back to my father. And the shame to be ashamed about myself, this fear, this shame, that resonates.
Mm.
Yeah. Maybe unworthiness to show up,
Mm.
not right, not good enough,
Mm.
to yeah.
Yeah, but you're ready to start to face the shame, and release the shame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the fear. Yeah, okay. That holds me back. Yeah,
Mm.
on this. Yeah, and maybe in other things as well.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, very good to see. Enough. Well, this has been a very, very strong session. Taking the calling sincerely and not seriously, but sincerely.
Yeah, for those with ears to hear.
Tune into the frequency of the calling, of your own calling. Yeah. And the lesson, the beautiful lesson to be with now. The end of the year of lessons. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge. Or I would follow. I think it is. Yeah, I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. God. Thank you, everyone. We're here. If there is any follow-up, Christian or anyone. Love you. Love you all.
Love you guys.